Hi there, this is Jana from Quantified. We're here at Berlin Brettspielcom and we brought a new prototype from Quantified, and I wanted to give you a little update on the changes that we've made based on the feedback with the playtest sessions at UK Games Expo, for example, and after. So the first thing we've changed is that we actually removed the network cards from solving rallies. We wanted to streamline the rallies a bit more, so what we did is that you don't have to pick up and deliver people from your network and bring them to a certain place. Instead, you're going to collaborate more with your co-players. So, for example, one of the rally cards says that you have to meet a citizen with minimum 6 stars difference from you on the social ladder to protest at the court. So that also stimulates more collaboration between the players, and it makes the right to communication much more important, because you really need to show this card to your co-player who you need to meet somewhere. The right to communication also changed a bit. What we had in the last prototype is that the right to communication allows you to show and to pass the cards to your co-players, which is still the case. If you don't have the right to communication, you're not allowed to do that. But if you meet a player in the same spot in the city, you can actually communicate with them in the old school traditional way. So you can pass and show them the cards when you're in the same spot. Also, always when you communicate with someone else, you take data from your own data pouch and put them into the data pouch of the other player. So your data gets mixed up more, and it's harder to plan if you lose your own data or your co-data's data. So the more you communicate, the more your data mixes up. And another thing, what we didn't want to miss that you, throughout the game, build up a network in the city, which also gives you more special abilities. So we put the network cards into the rally deck. So when you draw a card like this one, it says, for example, befriend a hacker. It also works like solving a rally. You have to be at a certain place and do a certain thing there. And from then on, this person is part of your network. And for one action, you can use their special ability. Another thing we did is what we've had in the last version. I'm going to show you a card. Each character and each network card had specific characteristics, for example, being blue-eyed or being transgender. We removed them, so they are not fixed from the beginning of the game, but you will build up a profile of characteristics throughout the game. And that happens actually through the analysis cards. So every time you draw an analysis card, on every analysis card there's 2 little icons, and this icon, for example, means that you're not really trustworthy, you're suspected from now on of not being trustworthy, and this symbol means that from now on you're being suspected to potentially be a political dissident. So the more cards you collect, the higher the probability is that you are a political dissident or not trustworthy. And in the threat deck we have the cards that were correction camps before. They're still correction camps, but they are not aiming at blue-eyed or transgender people, but they are now aiming at your personal profile that you filled up. For example, this card says the leading party requires all citizens with a 60% chance of not being ambitious enough to attend the correction camp. So if in your analysis card collection you have 2 symbols of not being ambitious enough, you will from then on only have 3 actions to spend. However, you can protest and do something against this, but if you don't protest and this card reaches the end of the red track, then it's going to be implemented and institutionalized. So you can't change that for the whole game anymore. Another thing we've changed for making the navigation a bit more quicker is that we've added action symbols on every card or part of the board where you have to spend an action. So on your personal overview card, your little cheat sheet, you have 4 action symbols and you have 4 tokens to put on there, and every time you spend an action you remove the token, so it's much easier to keep track of your actions. Then currently we're also testing a modular game board to make more easy and more difficult setups possible, and also modular walls in the city. I think for now that's all the updates we've had, and we hope to see you at other events. Thanks for listening and see you soon.